Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? Big P here. You know, don't you? You know. We say the things that nobody dare say. Today I'm joined by a great lad, Rico, co-founder of Porky's Corner. Without this kid here, I won't probably be here today. I'll probably be in prison. So thank you, Rico. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Porky, and nice intro. I'm very humbled.
No problem.
Good to see you looking like a middleweight still.
154 pounds. Not to be sniffed
Hey,
at, is
100.
it?
You know what? You weigh weigh less than Kell Brook at this stage, I imagine.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. Rico, you went on a BOSMAN transfer to Ultratech. I saw you last night. I watched it. I was laid on my big bed, and I thought you spoke elegantly, as usual. I thought it were a good program last night, you and Ultra. I were actually very apologetic in the email to Ultra because I didn't know he were putting out yesterday, and I just threw one out at the same time. So he put his a bit later, but sometimes it clashes, doesn't it? But do apologise.
Yeah,
Ultra.
I think for Ultra and I, we don't schedule things, so we were just chatting offline, and I said, "Oh, I'm just getting my haircut. I'll jump in. I'll be home in half an hour," and then I said, "I'll push it back by 50 minutes." So it was quite unprompted and unplanned.
Okay. So I don't really know where to start, really. I'll tell you where I am going to start. It looks to me like Eddie Hill's the 4-0 Iceman from Billy Ricky. Free by way of, but no footage. It looks like he's in a bit of a pickle, and I want to see him overcome adversity because he hasn't overcome any adversity yet in his whole life, has he, from being a young kid?
No.
He says he's relentless and this and that, but he's had it all his own way, all his life. Looks like he's not getting it his own way now. It looks like every promoter in boxing's ganged up on him. That's how it looks to me. And nobody wants to work with him. So he's hanging out the back of Jake Paul. What's your thoughts on it all? What next for Eddie Hearn if Joshua against Usyk and White Fury does not happen next? Where does he go from here?
I don't know. I mean,
just check this has come a bit off. Yeah, go on.
I find it interesting at the moment that I just saw that Joe Parker isn't with Matchroom anymore. He's a free agent. And I think Joe Parker was the type of guy that was always on the roster. You could make a fight with Joe Parker. So I don't know whether Matchroom are looking to consolidate their stable. I was just saying Joe Parker's not Matchroom anymore. And I think that's an interesting sign because usually what Matchroom used to do is sign up everyone so they couldn't fight with anybody else. And now it seems like they're cutting their roster. They don't really have the stable to make big UK shows. The fact that White is on BT next if the fight happens, and I'm sure we'll get to that. Joshua still, I presume, will be on Sky. I'm pretty sure he'd still be on Sky. I can't see why he'd now go to the Zone. So there's not much he can do in the UK. I mean, he can keep on telling the public that he's putting these big fights, but generally, I think boxing has declined because it's not on Sky anymore. At least the fighters that we know of, the Conor Benns and others, the ones that the casuals know of. There's still boxing, obviously, on Sky and Boxing. They've done a decent job of signing some fighters and, putting on decent shows. But ultimately, nobody subscribed to DAZN. And if people don't subscribe to DAZN, they don't see Eddie. If Eddie's big fights aren't happening, people aren't tuning into the boxing channels. I mean, you can look at the numbers for IFL or anyone else. The numbers have declined. So the sport is just becoming smaller. And I don't think Matchroom is built for small events. Remember when Frank Warren used to do his Box Nation events and, when Eddie Hills used to do his leisure hall events, because of the persons being so big in boxing, Matchroom have never been able to operate that way, at least at the moment. So they're in this struggle where they need to put on big events to make some money out of boxing. But on the other hand, they don't have the fighters. So I don't really know what's going to happen, but this whole DAZN BT thing, I thought was really bad for Matchroom in so many ways.
I'm not a massive Frank Warren fan, aka Bricktop, but because he's just as bad as them, really. It's only because he's been on back foot 10 years that we've sort of like felt for him a bit. Now, Frank Warren's overcome adversity in his life a lot more than them, hasn't he? We know about his story, don't we? He's been putting out fires all his life, hasn't he? And he's the comeback kid. Now, I think, I'm not saying Eddie Hearn's not an hard worker, but is it work what he does? He's doing interviews all day and strutting around like he's a superstar. He's making it about him. Now, if you look at the Amanda and Katie press conference, Eddie said it's not about Dylan White and Fury today, Joshua Usyk. It's about Katie and Amanda. But yet he's on the billboard at the back, and his picture's just as big as theirs. He makes every scenario about him, and I think eventually people just turned off him, didn't they? We've kind of had enough of him, haven't they? We had enough of him a long time ago, but I think the casuals and the general public have gone, oh, not him again with his bullshit. Just had enough, haven't they?
Well, do the casuals care about Kate and Amanda? If you go down to your local pub or the snooker hall, how many people know that that fight's happening?
Nobody
generally, I think because of DAZN as well. Many people don't know what DAZN is. We don't see the stuff around DAZN. The thing that people know about boxing this weekend is that Chris Eubank Jr. is fighting against Liam Williams. A couple of people have asked me about that. That's on Sky. People know Chris Eubank Jr. is. Nobody knows. People know what Kell Brook Amir Khan is happening, right? But nobody knows that Katie and Amanda is fighting. Nobody knows that there's a fight in Crystal Palace in a few weeks. These are just the things that nobody knows. And part of it is because nobody knows what DAZN is. Nobody watches these boxing channels. Like casual fans don't tend to watch boxing channels. So they don't see as much of Eddie. And if he's not putting on the big fights, the Joshuas, the Whites, even the Chisoras to an extent on Sky Sports, then why would I care about someone?
We're getting back to that adversity thing. We want to see him overcome it, don't we? We want to see him bounce back. He hasn't come back from anything yet, has he? We haven't seen him struggling to put shows. Look, when the numbers don't add up, they bail out, don't they? They always have, haven't they? When Chris Eubank Senior were on the slide, they bailed out, didn't they? Because they were out for him, mother. They ended up messing about with putting odd shows on with Tony Warrior Dodson. And we all know what happened to him, don't we, when the Cobra got hold of him, but that's another story. But I want to see him come back. I don't want him to fucking bail out of this sport while I had my fucking moment with him, looking at him having it fucking hard at the food banks like every fucker else. I don't want him to fuck off and say, oh, Joshua's done, I'm hard at the game, I'm going to go sit on the beach.
I don't think Eddie's ever going to be at the food bank, but still.
No, well, yeah, I want to see the cunt suffer. I want to see him struggle. Yeah. I want to see him lose fucking money on shows. Like I used to see Dennis lose money on shows. I want to see him fucking go through that, putting his own hand in his own fucking pocket and losing money. We all remember when he lost money on that European title fight with Darren Barker. He never shut up about it for fucking months, did he? And after that, he realised that Darren Barker, he needs to get on the fucking road if he wants to win a world title or defend a world title, which he did. These fuckers don't invest in the fighters. I want to see the cunt suffer for what he's done to this fucking sport, mate. I don't want to see him fuck off with all money like Joshua. I want to see these cunts suffer like Usyk and Andy Reid smashing Big Meechin. I fucking love that. I'm not one of them people that go, oh, I'm gutted you lost. I fucking loved it. All right. I'm a revengeful sort of fucking person with boxing. If people fucking do boxing the wrong turn, I want to see the cunts on the knees. Simple as. I'm not like these in boxing that hang around Eddie Hearn going, oh, I'm gutted Joshua lost. And then fucking going home and going, ha, 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 ha. I'm fucking happy Joshua got beat. Fuck you, Eddie. That's how I feel about it anyway. I don't want him to fuck off out this sport and leave it in a mess, you know. Like they did before with Michael Watson. You remember, don't we? Frank Warren bailed the board out. Frank Warren bailed the board out, didn't he? They didn't want to fucking know. And it was their show. He got hurt on. These fuckers You need to feel the fucking pain that every cunt else feels in boxing.
I think the problem what they have is really that they can't identify talent. So if you're not signing from EIS, and these EIS guys are ending up at Probellum, Boxer, they're not the only platform. But in the last Olympic cycle, if you didn't really sign for Sky Matchroom, you weren't pretty good, right? I mean, that's what they were looking at. Well, in the last Olympic cycle, not this one that was just happened, 2021, 2016, anybody from the Olympics, they didn't really have a choice but to sign for Matchroom and Sky. Now they've got a choice. So now what they have to do is actually identify real talents. They have to find the next Josh Warrington. They have to find the next Carl Frampton. And if you look at all the people that Eddie signed for the next gen, Ulysanov, Amo Williams, Joe Cordina.
He's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is all the people they identified as the next talent and the next crop of talented fighters, they could have,
Sims, what we call
none of them panned out. And I mean, ultimately, that's what boxing's about. If you're a good promoter, you can identify talented fighters, build them up, and then, make them into stars. Whereas what they've done is just taken Olympians, but now the Olympians aren't coming onto their platform. So they're in the same position that every other promoter has been in this country at some point. And because they can't identify talent, their pipeline's pretty bare. So we're watching, Conor Benn being hailed as the second coming. And look, I've got no real problems with Conor Benn, but let's be honest.
He's a fucking little dick. He's a dick.
But he's not going to win a world title. I mean, he just isn't going to win one. So what are they going to do? Sign more people as celebrities rather than boxers. Next thing you know, they might sign Arj from Towie and put him on a card just to sell tickets.
Well, I won't be surprised because Eddie Hearn at the moment's gobbling off that Jake Paul because nobody else wants to work with him. So he's latched onto him now like a fucking leech. Have you noticed?
Yeah. Well, yes, exactly. And Eddie was the one that first wasn't too keen on YouTube boxers and didn't think that they serious. And now the tune's changed.
Listen, mate, yesterday were lying, today I'm telling the truth, innit? Listen, this is what I want to know, right? And I've just done it in a fantastic video on our members area. Right. Who have Matchroom since 1986, December, who have they took to a world title who weren't Team GB from debut? One person, Herbie Hyde. And they didn't even count the WBO then, did they, if you remember? Nobody counted it in the mid-90s. So let me tell you this. Who else? No fucker, because they don't invest in nobody. You know what they do? They nick everybody else's fighters. That's what they do.
Well, now they can't because they don't have the platform to nick them. I mean, would I rather be on BT? Even if you think about Sonny Edwards and then, Sonny Edwards, he left as a world champion, he left BT and he went on to Probellum. It wasn't like he went on to DAZN.
No, I heard he was going to DAZN, wasn't he, apparently, or he went talk.
Yeah, but he's not gone there, right? So that just shows you that people aren't jumping to go to DAZN.
So Eddie's basically a normal human being like everybody else now. He's not fucking Superman, is he?
No.
With his wig glue. Eddie, get some proper wig glue. Go to Maury's wigs. Maury's wigs are tested against hurricane winds. So pop in for a fitting.
Go to Cosmetic Beach.
Go to Cosmetic Beach. Michelle Hudson at Turkey and Natalia. She'll sort your hair out proper for you, Eddie, in 1 6-hour session. Oh, probably 12 hours for that thing you've got going on. But, okay then. Is it true Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano are getting $1 million for this fight apiece? Yes or no?
Maybe on paper, but not in their pockets.
That's what he's saying.
There's probably all sorts of taxes and costs and everything else. So there's no chance. I mean, look, that fight doesn't gross $1 million. So I have no idea how they've come up with numbers. But look, whatever, you know this in boxing, right? Whatever's written on the piece of paper where you're getting the headline number doesn't reflect the truth.
Yeah, they can't even fucking put a proper purse bids in, can they, these shit houses we aren't lying. Right, Jake Paul and Eddie Hearn, after they bombed each other half to death, allegedly, they were going on about Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano as best fight in women's boxing. Do we agree on that? Yes or no?
No, I mean, look, Clarissa Shields against Cecile Ricos a couple of years ago was a bigger fight.
What about Clarissa Shields against Savannah Marshall? Is that a bigger fight than Taylor Serrano?
I think if it happens, yeah, there's a big backstory.
What happened to Eddie Mack in that?
Well, I mean, they left him both. Well, at least Marshall left him to get that maiden boxer.
Yeah. Okay. The DAZN takeover, we BT Sports dead and buried now. They don't want to work with him, obviously. Discovery own Eurosport. That's looking like a 50-50 deal to work with BT Sport. Where does this leave DAZN if that happens? Because it makes Frank Warren basically the #1 guy in Europe, doesn't he? If they pull that off, doesn't he? He's the man, isn't he? Again.
Yeah, where does that leave DAZN? I think that's a good question. I mean, ultimately, what they were trying to do is to buy subscribers and sports rights. So anybody that's subscribed to BT Sports, they've got no real reason to go to DAZN now because they get boxing and every other sport as well. Also, DAZN can't just buy sports rights, so they're stuck in a pickle where the only sports they have is boxing. So I think they'll give it another 18 months, and if they can't figure out what to do, they'll just leave the UK. They'll continue operating in other markets as they've always done. They'll continue operating in Japan, Germany, Italy, where they've got decent sports rights. But boxing won't be a core part of that because those aren't big boxing markets. So if anything, Eddie will have to look for another partner. Because I can't see the reason why they've given Eddie this money for DAZN is to bring in subscribers, and clearly it hasn't worked, has it? People haven't subscribed to DAZN.
It's not worked at all, has it? It's a bit of a wet fart, isn't it? Really, DAZN at the moment. It's like that wet gherkin, isn't it? Ben Shalom. He's a bit of a wet gherkin. I mean, how is he a fucking promoter, Rico?
Well, I guess they needed somebody with a license, right?
Is it somebody who they can manipulate? Because he don't look to me like he knows what he's fucking doing. I don't know, mate. I've seen him in interviews and that, and I'm not feeling it for him, mate. I call him the wet gherkin. I'm not feeling it for him, mate, at all. I'm not.
Well, it's John Wishhausen who they wanted there, not
Johnny
Ben
Wish,
Shalom. Yeah, they didn't want Ben Shalom. They wanted Johnny Wish, right? I mean, Ben Shalom just came with the package.
Yeah, basically, he's just a patsy, isn't he? It'll fall on him if all goes wrong, won't it?
More so, he's just the face of the operation. He's not the guy that makes all the decisions, right?
What do you think to Bean and company man Nelson and Matthew? He's on shaky legs, Adam Macklin. What do you think about them in their interviews? They seem to be a bit skitty and a bit. Seem to be sticking it to Eddie on slide, don't they, in every interview at the moment? What do you think about
Well,
that?
DAZN and Sky are competitors, aren't they? I mean, they had betting rights wars in Italy for Serie A and other places, so they're not exactly friendly. I mean, why would they be? There's no logic. They don't need to be amicable to Eddie. They don't need to promote him. They're competitors. So why would they be giving Eddie a leg up or saying nice things about Eddie? If anything, they don't want to mention DAZN. They don't want to mention he exists. Why give it any airtime?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, the Johnny Nelson, aka the company man, he keeps coming out saying Dylan White's never swerved anybody, blah blah blah. I've just give a list of 12 people that he's swerved. Some of them on more than one occasion.
The can man.
The can man. Anybody who wants it can get it as long as they're over 40 with fucking COVID. Johnny Nelson, you're a cocksucker, a bullshitting cunt. Fucking crawl out people's arseholes. Just tell it straight. Just tell these fuckers straight. Look, you swerved him, you've swerved him, you swerved him, you fucking swerved him. Have you seen them screenshots that people keep sending me? What Dylan White was saying about Tyson Fury? He's gone fucking missing now. He's the fucking missing man, isn't he? I mean, he's hiding behind this arbitration thing. Since when does he give a fuck about that? And that's another thing. This arbitration, I was banging on about that 3-4 years ago. Why aren't they putting it all paperwork up? And there you are, we've just served papers on WBC. It's sort of bullshit, mate.
Well, last night I was looking for the papers and I could find the arbitration for. So they've had a few arbitrations. So what the arbitrations that they've had, and we've got paperwork for, is they wanted to force the WBC to call a mandatory for Fury against White when Fury was meant to fight against Wilder for the third time.
Yeah.
But there's no arbitration paperwork, or I haven't seen, about this purse split. So it makes no sense. Nobody's been able to find these documents. And also, if you're in arbitration, it doesn't mean you can't speak to the media. Dillian White was doing interviews with the last arbitration happening. So how has this changed now? I wouldn't be surprised if Dillian White's contract with DAZN, the one that he signed recently, where he said he's going to be fighting with DAZN, had some sort of clause where he could leave DAZN if they don't win a purse bid, and he's exercised that, and he might be even leaving promoters. He might think, actually, I can make more money if I go to Top Rank. That wouldn't surprise me at all. That's why Eddie's been coy about it.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I think that's why Eddie's been coy about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if White told DAZN, well, you haven't won the purse bid, so why would I work with you guys? And then at the same time, he's going Top Rank and saying, will you pay me a bit more if I sign a 2 or 3 fight deal with you guys?
Do you remember? Well, that's probably right. Do you remember what I've been banging on about for years on my channel here, right? They don't win purse bids, Matchroom, because it makes them uncomfortable because they're not in control. They're numbers men. They're accountants, accountant by name, accountant by nature. They don't win purse bids. Did they win? Eddie had $1 billion, did he, from DAZN? They didn't win the pool left White purse.
Supposedly.
Well, they don't win purse bids, Rico.
Well, I'd say to that, Dillian White banging on about his 30% or 40% or whatever for the fight, right?
Mm.
His promoter put in a bid which valued him, I think it was £4.6 million, which is a bit more than he got for the Povetkin fight.
Yeah.
So him claiming that he's valued a lot more, it just doesn't make sense. If your own promoter doesn't even value you, and remember, they know what Dillian White does in numbers. They know Dillian White better than anyone. So they put a value to him, and they put in a purse bid that was significantly below what Queensberry and Top Rank put in.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Anthony Joshua against Usyk, Rico. Does it happen? Yes or no?
At this point, I'd have to say no. I mean, look, they activated a rematch clause. We don't have a date for the event.
October 8th, they activated it.
Yep, and that's quite a few months ago.
4 months ago.
So I am not sure if they want this fight, what they're doing, right? Because it's not a hard one to negotiate in-house, that fight. Well, so I don't think it happened.
Is the problem behind the scenes Joshua or the platform, Sky or DAZN, or is it Joshua in his training situation, or is it Joshua basically is an on-top bully and he knows he can't win and he's looking for a way out? I don't know. Are they going to delay it? What's going on, Rico? It's a shit feast, isn't it?
I don't think the platform's as much as an issue, right? You make the fight and the highest bidder gets the fight, and that's how simple it is, right? It's not rocket science. Like, he doesn't have to choose the platform. I think it's Joshua not knowing where to take the fight and they also looking for ways where they could potentially. I think initially they were open to getting Fury to fight against Usyk and then getting Joshua against White. I wouldn't be surprised if those conversations were still ongoing. But generally, I think it's a case that Joshua doesn't really want to go into that fight next.
Listen, if Joshua goes into that fight next and gets beat, he just then becomes a contender, doesn't he?
Well, exactly. I mean, there's no two ways about it. But he becomes a very lucrative contender, though, where he'll make still money, but he's in the same position that Wilder's in many ways at the moment.
Colin Hart, you know him from who used to work at the Sun for
Mhm.
years, in with grey wig. Right.
Yeah.
Does he said that Joshua's a spent force and is on slide. Do you agree, Rico?
I think it's more mental than it's physical. I mean, look, he's a heavyweight, right? And he's pretty young for heavyweight, so it's sort of near his prime. It's more the mental aspect of things. And I think losing Usyk was probably quite a big wake-up call to him. And I think since the Reeves fight, he hasn't been the same fighter. Part of it's obviously competition's become tougher, but he just hasn't been the same fighter.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward. Where's it going to leave Eddie, though, if these two fights do happen and we've all got it wrong and Joshua loses and Dylan White loses? Will they just put Dylan White in with Joshua and then Eddie will fuck off? Or what do you think will happen there?
Well, there comes a point where he has to, well, he obviously has a deal with Eddie, but deals don't mean much in boxing.
No.
But there comes a point where he can probably make more money fighting with someone else. Yeah. But I don't think that's yet. I think at the moment, him fighting with Eddie on Sky Sports is the way how he makes the most money. He probably doesn't want to promote a show himself. So it's probably just squeezing Eddie's cup because Eddie needs him now more than ever. So he has Eddie over a barrel.
Yeah, he's got Eddie over. He's got Eddie in a bit of a tight spot there, hasn't he? What do you think about Eddie's recent quotes that he keeps coming out with and posts and all that? Canelo this, Canelo that. Does he know that Canelo's working with Al Heyman now? They're not going to let him go. Canelo's about money, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's doing it in desperation, right? It's like
it looks pretty sad, doesn't it? Sniffing around Canelo's underpants and Jake.
It's a bit like if he has it's a bit like if he has an ex-girlfriend, right? And he's posting photos of them together on holiday in the hope that she sees them. I don't think Canelo's probably.
Yeah, I do that, Rico. Is that not normal?
Yeah. I think Canelo just will do what's best for the money. And unfortunately, I don't think Matchroom has anybody that they can offer him that makes a big fight, whereas Al Heyman has loads of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even Mukabu, right? Why would Don King want to work where he earned for them, even if he faces Mukabu?
Yeah.
They could probably get down Fox or, on a PBC platform in the US, and that would be a bigger fight than it is getting it on DAZN and Sky Sports in the UK.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting moving forward, Rico, isn't it?
Interesting times, Matt.
Exciting times ahead. A cacophony of noise, Matt. He's going to have the Blue Ribbon Division back. What about that other one he come out with the other day? Ready for liftoff, Matt. Ready for liftoff. It sounded like they were in bed together, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly a rocket going to Mars, is it?
Bean, yeah, no. Bean's looking a bit old and knocked about these days, isn't he? His hair's going white, isn't it? He's looking like an old Bean now, isn't it?
He's probably been interviewed by Coogan constantly, which drains a man.
Yeah, he's a big old tall lump, isn't he, Bean? Isn't
he is very tall. In person, he's very, very tall.
I was at the show, he come on to me, I went, yeah, he's a lump, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd have any problems dealing with Bean. So go and get back in your cage, Bean. Right, Liam Williams against Chris Eubank. It's an interesting one, isn't it, Rico?
I think it's a good fight, very good fight. I'm interested. I like Chris Eubank's style. I think Liam Williams has a good style as well. So I think stylistically it's a good matchup. I mean, I'm a Eubank fanboy, so obviously I'm biased, but I just think Liam Williams, when he stepped up at a higher level, he's always got beat. So I believe that Chris Eubank Jr. will win either on points or stop him late. Probably not stop him. Liam Williams is too tough, but I think he'll just win on points.
Yeah, well, you think Chris Eubank wins on points?
Mm-hmm.
I do. The reason being, he's fought at 168. The other kid's really a 154, isn't he? So a good big and beats a good little, in my opinion. But Liam Williams, in my opinion, I think he's had bad luck. In that first beefy fight, he had bad luck. Second one he lost, fair enough. He didn't have skill set to stay with Andrade, but he's a good Euro level fighter, isn't he? British stroke Euro level. Eubank's a Euro level, solid Euro level. Maybe stroke world title challenger level. He's not a elite, is he?
I mean, I think it's world title challenger level personally. I mean, look, he wiped Yildirim, he's beaten Kobarov, Abraham, so he's sort of on the fringes of that level.
Yeah, Terry's got him down as elite, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Terry, you're out your mind.
But we haven't seen Williams have a big win against somebody that's at the same level as Abraham or Yildirim or anyone else.
Okay. Let's give a shout out to Terry's pod. What's it called?
Yeah. Beyond Boxing Podcast.
Beyond Boxing Podcast. He's got 2 videos out yesterday or the day before, and they're fantastic. Beyond Boxing. Just Google Beyond Boxing and listen to it. There's about 79 episodes on there, but
good stuff.
The last 3 is very good. Terry's an educated man like Rico. As you can see, I'm not. They're like elite boxers. I'm like a ham and egger.
Don't be so harsh on yourself, Porky.
Okay then.
What's your agenda for the rest of the day, Ross?
The rest of today, I'm off to solicitors in a minute regarding me insurance claim for me 4 months ago, my stomach and that. They're dragging it out, aren't they? Dragging it out. There's nobody, the insurance company I was dealing with, they only work on the Tuesdays and they've got a backlog. But well, so what? I've paid out my money. I was led to believe if you go on holiday and you're injured or if obviously I mind my life threatening, they take care of it all. It's a farce, isn't it? What if you? What if
insurance is funny, right?
What if it
they're happy to take your money? They're happy to take your money, but they're not quickest at paying you back, right? It's all these companies, refunds,
Solicitor job, but other than that, no, I've got a pretty easy one today. I've been up early this morning. I took my dog over Crook Hill Golf Course, let him shit all over the place because I'm banned from there now, aren't I? Can't get a pint in the 19th hole. So I take my dog over there in the morning. Sometimes we get chased off, sometimes we don't. But you know me, I'm anti-establishment, aren't I, Rico? I always have to use the score. But I'm freezing my ass off this morning. I had to drag him out of the house. He didn't want to come out this morning. And,
have you shaved him again?
No, I don't shave him now. I take him to the vet. Do you know how much they charge me, Rico? 138.
Oh, you mean the dog trimmers, right?
No, pet vet. At Dalton in Rotherham charged me 138 quid to put him to sleep because he goes for you, doesn't he? You know, he goes for you. He don't like being shaved. He kept going for me. I had a dog groomer come and do it 25 quid. He went for her, but he gets so wet up in that he starts pulling. And she said to me, he could end up having an heart attack if I come back, so I can't come back, Russ. So okay, I'll get them to do it. 138, 60p. I goes, where's 60p from? Do you know they only charged me 100 quid to do his nuts? When I first got him, you know, when he was a couple of months old.
Yeah.
And his nuts done, they charged me 100 quid. But yeah, to shave him, it's 138. So you tell me. You tell me. So I'm going to take him next month here, but I might go somewhere else actually. But he's been a good dog. He's loyal, but he didn't fancy it this morning. I didn't as well, but we got it. You've got to get it done, haven't you, and get something done. But other than that, got a pretty easy, simpleton day today. That's probably it. I'll probably come back here. I might do another video. I just might do one laid on my bed watching TV. I'm a bit of a telemonger at the moment these days. I'm into these Netflix documentaries and that about 9/11 and stuff like that. Have you watched that Ozark?
Oh, I watched it. Yeah, I finished the new season. It's good, isn't it?
I couldn't put it down.
It's so good. Where are you at the moment?
I've watched it all.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's really good.
Episodes a day. I think it's up there with Dallas, because I'm a big Dallas fan, J.R. Ewing. Mind
I mean,
you,
Ruth and Marty are such good characters, aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah. The girl steals it with bubble perm, don't she, Ruth?
Yeah, Ruth, she's got great, she doesn't take shit from anyone, does she?
But that's the best thing I've seen since Brotherhood and with Jason Isaacs and Sopranos. But problem with them box sets is they're addictive, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's
They're
the point,
addictive.
isn't it?
Yeah, they're very, very addictive. But yeah, I enjoyed that Ozark, and I watched that BMF, about Big Meech. That's on Stars, playing it on Amazon. So we know who Big Meech is now. Joshua's probably watched that because that's his hero now, isn't it? Big Meech.
Yeah.
Nicky Barnes, Larry Hoover.
You know what you should watch? There's a film called Worth, like Worth, WORTH. It's on Netflix, and it tells about the lawyer that tries to get compensation for the 9/11 victims. It's yeah, it's a really good film. WORTH.
Okay, nice one.
So yeah, it's about the lawyer that tries to get compensation for 9/11 victims.
Oh, well, that's good, isn't it? Well, did they get
It's
it?
It's a really good film. Yeah, it's on Netflix. 2 hours. Really good.
Yeah, I'm into that 9/11 stuff. There's a Charlie Sheen film about it. I didn't think that were very good, but I like some of them documentaries that I've seen. They've been out ages, some of them, and it makes you wonder what's going on, because you can get into these conspiracies, but you can get into them too much. Like me, I like to start believing it. Them buildings that got pulled down that weren't damaged, they pulled the lot down, didn't they?
Pentagon as well. The
Pentagon. Yeah, that Pentagon. No camera footage of a plane going into the Pentagon. What's all that about?
Well, some conspiracy theories say it's that it was bombed rather than there was a plane, right? Did anybody die at the Pentagon? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I think they did. Yeah, I'm not sure. One of them planes went into a field. That were quite good. But
yeah,
I'm going to check the flat Earth one out. I'm going to check the flat Earth one out.
You can chat to Froch about it then if you want.
Yeah, well, he's into all that, but he's into moon landing one now. You don't think that? He asked me, "Do you think moon landing's happening?"
Oh, you know what? The moon landing one's interesting.
I said, yeah, obviously, it's bollocks.
The flag is waving, right? And there's meant to be no wind on the moon. Also, how the shadows go and everything else. There's lots on the moon landing. Well, that's an interesting one. But the one you should really get into is the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah, I've been into that. I've seen the Kevin.
That's the one. Yeah, Kennedy assassination. That's the best one because all the Lee Harvey Oswald and everything else. That's the one to get into.
He's got an interesting story. That Lee Harvey Oswald, hasn't he, Rico?
Well, he got in prison, right? So why did that happen? And also,
no, they shot him, didn't they? He got shot dead, didn't he, Lee Harvey Oswald?
Yeah,
by
in
Jack
prison,
Ruby.
right?
Oh,
yeah, when he went, when he got, because he got detained right afterwards, and then he got basically killed, and there was nothing, and they said, yeah, he did it. And the other thing is they had his army records, and he wasn't a very good shot, so they well, he couldn't have shot that. That's why they call it the magic bullet, because the angle where he supposedly shot from, it's a very hard shot, and it was like a perfect shot, right? So most people don't think he could have done it on his own.
Oh, it'll be interesting.
Lots of conspiracy theories around Kennedy. Worth checking them out.
Yeah, I think I might need to sit there and smoke a load of weed and watch it all then, eh? What do you reckon?
That's a good way to spend a Friday, mate.
Yeah.
All right. Good speaking to you as always. Take care, my friend.
Thanks for coming on.
Everybody make sure you like and subscribe. Porky puts his heart and soul into this, so support the channel, all right?
Thank you for sharing the video as well.
No worries, mate.
Okay, you take care, Rico.
Peace. Cheers, bye.
Bye. Oh, Rico, a bit of a conspiracy head, like his uncle Big P. When people try and tell me, hey, it's fucking bollocks, Porky. Fucking moon landings and JFK. I said, listen, that's why it's a conspiracy. All right, then. Get that. 9 o'clock. I'll get all this sorted and get it premiered, get a thumbnail. I'll be done for 10 o'clock today. I just want to finish on a bit of sad news. A lad that I've known for over 2 years now. I think about 2.5 years. He owns a company called Jab Apparel. It's called Johnny Owen. He's been doing my thumbnails for me for 2.5 years. You might have seen his logo on with all my sponsors. Deal I had with him where I put his logo on. He used to do my thumbnails. Simple as. He sadly passed away age 40, and I'm gutted. I didn't know. I thought he might have been a bit younger than that until Steve Rafe sent me a text last night saying he was 40, Russ. No, bit of sad news. I think he had a daughter as well. How bad is that? So we have to cherish every single day. So my thoughts are with Johnny Owen from North East, are with him and his family, and I hope he's looking down on us now, reading Ring magazine, boxing news, and I just think it's very sad, and I'm quite upset yesterday over that actually. So may you rest in peace, Johnny Owen, and my condolences to his family. All right. So sorry to end on that bit of sad news, but just wanted to say that on behalf of Johnny Owen and his family. All right. Everybody have a great weekend. I think that's about it really. I don't think there's anybody else coming on channel. I think I might have Chris Burns on tonight. He's going out for a beer and he wants to come on channel after. So let's see if he's in a fit state, because last time we did a video I wasn't in a very good state and we couldn't put it out. Oh, too wild and all off my trolley. All right, if not, and we don't do any videos tonight, have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll get TC on this weekend, Terry Chapman. All right, peace out.